Have you ever found yourself looking at a plate of pasta and wondering if that moment of pleasure could turn into worry? We know that for those living with diabetes, one of the biggest anxieties is thinking twice before each meal. The fear of losing blood sugar levels or feeling like you're always giving up something you like can be suffocating. Who doesn't love a good pasta, right? But then comes the dilemma. Can I eat this? It's frustrating, I know. The feeling of deprivation, of having to control each bite, of being afraid to see the numbers rising on the glucose meter. This creates constant tension, and it can even feel like the foods you love are out of your reach. But what if I told you that there are delicious and safe pasta options that you can enjoy without fear? Yes, they exist, and you don't need to give up this pleasure at the table. In this video, I'll show you 5 pastas that you can eat guilt-free. And what's more, I'll teach you how to make each of them at home, with simple recipes that can fit perfectly into your routine. Not only will you learn how to make these pastas, but you will also understand why they are healthier alternatives. And look, I'll tell you, many of them will surprise you. So stay with me until the end, because these tips can transform your relationship with food, bringing back that pleasure of eating what you like in a safe and conscious way. Oh, and as a reward for following the video to the end, I'll give you practical recipes so you can enjoy them and not feel like eating them. But before continuing, don't forget to check if you've already left a like to support our work. Pasta number 5, pumpkin. Who would have thought that something as simple as pumpkin could turn into an incredible pasta option for those with diabetes, right? Sometimes we think that eating something delicious and healthy needs to be complicated, but the truth is that the answer often lies in ingredients that are within our reach, at the market or even in the refrigerator at home. And best of all, pumpkin is a true gift for health, full of nutrients and with a low glycemic index, meaning it helps keep blood sugar levels under control. And you know what that means, right? You can eat without the fear of deregulating your glucose. I know what it's like. Sometimes it feels like all the pleasure of eating good pasta has been left behind since you discovered your diabetes. But don't worry, because the good news is that pumpkin is so versatile that you can transform it into a delicious and super practical pasta, as well as being healthy. And you don't need to be a chef to do this. The process is simple and the result will surprise you. Pumpkin's flavor is mild and adapts well to various sauces and seasonings, which means you can create varied dishes and not fall into a routine. You know what's even better? Pumpkin is also rich in fiber, which helps slow the absorption of sugar into the blood. This means that, in addition to satisfying the desire to eat good pasta, it also contributes to your health in a practical and tasty way. And let's face it, no one likes to be stuck on boring, bland, and flavorless diets. With this option, you will be able to vary the menu without giving up the pleasure at the table. Oh, and a trick I always use. Take advantage of pumpkin season, when it's cheaper and sweeter, and I already make a good quantity. You can freeze it and use it little by little throughout the week, so you don't waste time. And there's always something delicious ready. Now write down this super easy recipe so you can try it today. This pumpkin pasta will bring a new flavor to your everyday life and show you that eating well, even with diabetes, can be enjoyable. Best of all, you can make this recipe for the whole family and no one will even realize that it is a healthier option. For this pumpkin dough, you will need a Japanese or Kabodia pumpkin. It is the best for this type of recipe because it has a texture that is perfect after baking. First, cut the pumpkin into large pieces and remove the seeds. No need to peel. Bake for about 40 minutes or until it is very soft. After roasting, the pulp will easily release from the skin. Place this pulp in a processor or mash well with a fork until it becomes puree. Once the pumpkin puree is ready, mix in about a cup of almond flour or coconut flour, which are options with a low glycemic index, perfect for those with diabetes. Add an egg to bind and season with salt and pepper to taste. The dough will be slightly sticky, but that's how it is. If necessary, sprinkle a little more flour to help with handling. Now just make small balls with the dough and flatten with a fork to give it that classic gnocchi shape. When cooking, it's simple. Put a pan of water and salt on the fire, and when it boils, add the gnocchi. When they start to float, they are ready. Serve with your preferred sauce. One tip is to opt for sauces based on olive oil, tomato, or even a light herb sauce to keep the meal even healthier. This pumpkin pasta will surprise you with a delicious flavor and the certainty that you are taking care of your health. This dish is perfect for lunch or dinner, but the golden tip is consume it at night when the body tends to process carbohydrates more slowly. This will help you keep your sugar levels balanced throughout the night, ensuring a peaceful night's sleep without glucose scares. Transform your diet and take care of your health health like never before. If you have diabetes, kidney, liver issues, or high blood pressure, and you're tired of bland recipes, this book is for you. Discover incredible savory and sweet recipes made with simple ingredients you already have at home, all designed to keep your health in check. Don't miss this unique opportunity. For less than $10, you can secure your copy, but units at this price are limited. Click on the first comment of this video and get yours now. Pasta number 4. Eggplant. Maybe you never imagined it, but eggplant can be the main star of a delicious and healthy pasta dish. And best of all, without having to give up on flavor and above all your health. If you have been living with diabetes for some time, you know how difficult it is to find options that do not harm blood sugar levels and, at the same time, bring pleasure to the meal. But I'll tell you a secret. Eggplant is one of those ingredients that will surprise you in every way. It is rich in fiber, has few calories, and is excellent for those who want to keep their glucose under control. You know when you look at a plate of lasagna and feel the urge to devour it, but then the guilt hits? With eggplant, this will no longer happen. It easily becomes a base for dishes that would normally be loaded with carbohydrates, such as lasagna or even an eggplant pizza, where slices of the vegetable serve as the dough. And here we are not talking about a tasteless replacement, but a delicious option that will leave you satisfied. Imagine the following scenario. You are sitting at the table with your family, everyone helping themselves to that delicious lasagna, and you also participate, but without fear or guilt, because your lasagna was made with thin slices of eggplant instead of traditional pasta. And no one there will feel any difference. The flavor is incredible, and the texture of the eggplant blends perfectly with the sauces and fillings you use. It's the type of dish that brings that feeling of comfort, without weighing your conscience and, most importantly, without negative impacts on your health. And don't think it's work. Eggplant is super practical to prepare. All you need is to cut it into thin slices and soak it in salted water for about 15 minutes. This will remove excess bitterness and make it even smoother. Then, just grill or roast these slices to use them in your favorite recipe. This process is quick and completely transforms the flavor of the eggplant, leaving it soft and delicious. One of the great advantages of using eggplant instead of traditional pasta is that, in addition to being an option with a low glycemic index, it also helps to increase satiety, meaning you will eat less and feel satisfied for longer. And this, for those who struggle daily with glucose spikes, is a real help. There's nothing better than eating well and at the same time taking care of your health in a simple and practical way, right? Now just think, a light, delicious and healthy lunch with an eggplant lasagna that you made yourself at home. No need to worry about excess carbohydrates, because here, the star of the dish is the eggplant, full of nutrients and friendly to your glucose. And you know what's coolest? This type of recipe doesn't have to be just for lunch or dinner. It is also perfect for that light meal at night, without weighing down your stomach and without leaving you worried before bed. And speaking of recipes, I'm going to teach you a very simple one for you to prepare today. How about an eggplant lasagna? For this, you will need 2 or 3 medium eggplants. Wash well, cut them into thin slices lengthwise, and soak in salted water for 15 minutes. Meanwhile, prepare a very simple homemade tomato sauce using ripe tomatoes, garlic, onion, and a drizzle of olive oil. Season with salt and basil to taste. Now, just assemble the lasagna. In an oven-proof dish, start with a layer of tomato sauce on the bottom. Then place the grilled eggplant slices, followed by a filling of your choice. A great option is to use ricotta or cottage cheese, which are light cheeses and also health-promoting. Repeat the layers until you run out of ingredients. Finish with a layer of sauce and, if you want, a little grated Parmesan cheese on top. Place in the preheated oven at 180 degrees Celsius for around 20 to 25 minutes until everything is hot and the cheese has melted. Ready, a delicious, light, and perfect lasagna for your lunch or dinner. The flavor is surprising, and the best part, you can eat it without fear of deregulating your glucose. This eggplant lasagna recipe will not only bring more flavor to your table, but it will also show you that it is possible to eat well, healthily, and without complications. Eggplant, so simple and accessible, can be transformed into incredible and tasty dishes without giving up the pleasure that food should provide. If you're enjoying the tips and recipes, don't forget to hit the like button to support our work. Pasta number 3, zucchini. Zucchini is that vegetable that is always at the market and often ends up being forgotten at the back of the fridge, right? But what you may not know is that zucchini can be transformed into a delicious, light, and, most importantly, health-friendly pasta. For those with diabetes, being careful with what we put on our plates is essential, and zucchini fits perfectly into this scenario. It is rich in fiber, has few calories, and almost no carbohydrates, which makes it an excellent alternative to traditional pasta. I know that, for those living with diabetes, the idea of eating good pasta may seem impossible, but here's some good news. With zucchini, you can make delicious light pasta that will satisfy that craving without fear of losing control. Glycemia. Zucchini is versatile and can be used in many ways, but the star this time is the famous zucchini spaghetti, a simple, quick recipe that will make you forget about traditional pasta. It's one of those dishes that you can prepare in just a few minutes, but that has a huge positive impact on your diet and your health. Just imagine that plate of spaghetti with fresh tomato sauce, or maybe with a homemade pesto sauce. But instead of pasta full of carbs, you're eating thin strands of zucchini with all the flavor, but without the unwanted effects on your blood sugar. And best of all, this recipe is so easy to prepare that after you make it the first time, it will become part of your everyday life. It's the kind of dish you can make in 10 minutes, and that will leave you satisfied, light, and without worrying about the numbers on your glucose meter. Zucchini has the magic of transforming into the perfect base for any pasta dish. When cut into thin strips, it turns into healthy and tasty spaghetti, which absorbs the flavors of the sauces and seasonings you use. And don't think that because it's a vegetable pasta, it will lack flavor. On the contrary, zucchini has a mild taste, which adapts very well to almost any combination. The important thing is to get the sauce and seasonings right, and you will realize that you are not missing anything by swapping the traditional pasta for this option. Now, a valuable tip. Zucchini has a lot of water, which can make your recipe a little wetter than expected if it is not prepared well. Therefore, before cooking the zucchini spaghetti, sprinkle a little salt on the strips and let it rest for a few minutes. This will help eliminate excess water, and the result will be a firmer dough with a delicious texture. You know that fear of eating a meal that seems too big and then feeling guilty. With zucchini, this doesn't exist. It has so few calories that you can make a well-served dish, feel satisfied, and still know that you are taking care of your health. And let's be honest, there's nothing better than eating well without fear. Zucchini offers just that, a complete, light meal that does not compromise diabetes control. Now let's go step by step on how to transform this common vegetable into restaurant-worthy spaghetti. All you need is 1 or 2 medium zucchinis and a vegetable cutter, the kind you probably already have at home. If you want something more practical, there are even devices for making zucchini threads. But a common grater works very well. Start by washing the zucchini well and cutting off the ends. Then, with the grater or cutter, make thin strips along the length of the zucchini, creating long strands that imitate spaghetti. If you have a spiral cutter, even better, but don't worry if you don't. The important thing is to get those thin strips. After all the strands are ready, sprinkle a pinch of salt and let it rest for about 5 minutes to release excess water. Meanwhile, you can prepare the sauce of your choice. One of the best combinations for this zucchini spaghetti is fresh tomato sauce. It's simple and quick to do. Just saute some garlic and onion in olive oil. Add chopped ripe tomatoes and season with salt, pepper, and fresh basil. Let it cook for about 10 minutes until the tomato breaks down and forms a very tasty sauce. Another option is pesto sauce, which also goes really well with the lightness of the zucchini. Simply blend basil, olive oil, garlic, and walnuts in a blender until a creamy paste forms. With the sauce ready, it's time to cook the zucchini spaghetti. This is very quick. Just heat a frying pan with a drizzle of olive oil and saute the zucchini for about 2 to 3 minutes. The secret here is not to let the zucchini overcook, as it can become very soft. The ideal point is when it is still al dente, that is, a little firm. Now just mix the zucchini spaghetti with the tomato sauce or pesto and serve, and that's it. You have a delicious, healthy dish that will leave you completely satisfied without weighing on your conscience or compromising your health. And best of all, this dish is perfect for any time of the day. You can serve it for lunch, as a light and nutritious meal, or even for dinner, when you want something milder, but still tasty, and keeping you full until the end of the night. And with the advantage that, because it has so few carbohydrates, this zucchini spaghetti won't cause those glucose spikes that we so want to avoid. That's the magic of zucchini. Simple, easy to prepare, and incredibly versatile. After trying this recipe, you will see how it is possible to maintain a delicious and healthy diet, even with diabetes. Eating well doesn't have to be complicated, and zucchini will prove that to you with every bite. Don't forget that your recipe book is waiting for you in the first comment of this video. Click now and guarantee yours. It's running out. Pasta number 2, palmito. When we think of hearts of palm, the first image that comes to mind is probably that simple salad. But if you live with diabetes and are looking for healthy alternatives to enjoy good pasta, prepare to be surprised. Palm hearts, in addition to being a light and nutritious food, are the perfect base for a pasta that will not only satisfy your taste buds, but also take care of your health. That's right. It is an excellent option to replace traditional pasta, offering a delicious and safe dish for those who need to keep their sugar levels under control. Heart of palm has everything you need in a meal. It's tasty, has very low calories, and practically zero carbohydrates. For those who are used to limiting their pasta options due to diabetes, this is a practical and delicious solution. And don't think that hearts of palm will make your dish boring. It has a firm but smooth texture and a delicate flavor that goes very well with different sauces and seasonings. In other words, you can make that pasta dish you like so much without worrying. Now, if you've never tried making a pasta dish using hearts of palm, I guarantee you'll fall in love. And the best part? You can find canned or fresh hearts of palm, and both are easy to prepare. The preserved version, generally found in slices or strips, is the most practical, but the fresh heart of palm brings even more flavor and freshness to the dish. No matter the choice, the result is a light, healthy, and very satisfying meal. Heart of palm is one of the best options for those who need to control their glucose because, in addition to being an extremely nutritious food, it also has a low glycemic index. This means that, by including heart of palm instead of traditional pasta, you will be making a smart swap, which will help keep your blood sugar levels stable. And what does this mean in practice? That you can eat well without fear of losing control of your diabetes. And you know what's most incredible? Heart of palm is so versatile that you can use it to make different types of dishes. One of the most popular is heart of palm spaghetti, a delicious alternative that is very easy to prepare. The heart of palm comes in ready-to-eat strips, but if you prefer, you can cut it into thin slices, lengthwise, to obtain that classic spaghetti appearance. The firm texture of the heart of palm means that it maintains its shape even after cooking, which guarantees a visually beautiful and very tasty dish. Now, a practical tip for those who are going to use canned hearts of palm. Before starting to prepare, drain the liquid well and wash the hearts of palm under running water. This helps remove excess sodium and makes the flavor smoother. If you are using fresh palm hearts, cut them into thin strips and cook quickly in boiling water with a little salt for about 5 minutes. This way, it will be even softer and ready to receive the sauce of your choice. One of my favorite combinations with heart of palm is a garlic and herb sauce. It is a light sauce, easy to make, and that highlights the delicate flavor of the heart of palm. Just sauté minced garlic in olive oil, add some fresh herbs like basil and thyme, and finish with a pinch of salt and pepper. This sauce is ready in just a few minutes and completely transforms the dish, bringing a freshness and flavor that will leave your mouth watering. Another option is a mushroom sauce, which also combines perfectly with the lightness of the heart of palm. To do this, sauté fresh mushrooms in a drizzle of olive oil until they are golden brown, season with salt and pepper, and add a little fresh cream to form a creamy sauce. Mix the heart of palm spaghetti into this sauce and serve immediately. It's such a delicious recipe that you won't believe you're eating a pasta version that has virtually no carbs. The most incredible thing about this dish is that it fits into any schedule. Whether for lunch or dinner, heart of palm spaghetti is light enough not to weigh down your stomach, but at the same time it will leave you feeling satisfied. And because it has so few carbs, you don't have to worry about those unwanted glucose spikes. This means you can enjoy your meal with peace of mind, knowing you are doing the best for your health. And for those who like to plan their meals for the week, here's a tip. You can prepare a larger quantity of heart of palm spaghetti and leave it in the fridge to use throughout the days. It keeps super well, and you just need to heat it and add the sauce when serving. This makes everyday life much easier and ensures that you always have a healthy and tasty option on hand. Now let's get to the recipe. To make heart of palm spaghetti, you will need strips of heart of palm, can be preserved or fresh. If you are using fresh hearts of palm, start by cutting them lengthwise into thin strips. Then, cook in boiling water with a pinch of salt for about 5 minutes until the hearts of palm are soft but still firm. If you choose canned hearts of palm, simply wash the strips well under running water to remove excess salt and make them softer. Meanwhile, prepare the sauce. Sauté some chopped garlic in olive oil, add fresh herbs like basil or parsley, season with salt and pepper, and that's it. Mix the heart of palm spaghetti with the sauce and serve immediately. If you want a more elaborate version, you can make a tomato-based sauce or even a pesto sauce, which combines very well with the softness of the hearts of palm. The important thing is to experiment and adapt the flavors to your taste. This recipe is proof that it is possible to eat well, even with diabetes. Palm hearts, in addition to being a super healthy option, are also a delicious way to include variety in your menu. Eating pasta doesn't have to be synonymous with worry, and with heart of palm, you'll discover that you can enjoy it without compromising your health. Pasta number 1, chickpeas. Now we come to our last and perhaps most surprising ingredient, chickpeas. If you never thought that this food, so common in soups and salads, could be transformed into a delicious and healthy pasta, get ready to change your mind. Chickpeas, in addition to being rich in protein and fiber, fiber, are an incredible alternative for those who need to control their blood sugar levels. Not only does it have a low glycemic index, it also helps promote a feeling of satiety, meaning you can eat well and feel full for longer without that constant worry about your glucose. For those with diabetes, chickpeas are a true gem in their diet. In addition to being an excellent source of nutrients, it is very versatile and can be used in many ways. But what few know is that it can be transformed into a dough that, in addition to being tasty, is super healthy. Chickpea pasta is a perfect alternative for those who want to satisfy their craving for a pasta dish, but without the negative effects of conventional pasta. The texture of chickpeas is ideal for making pasta that is firm but light and goes well with practically any sauce you want. Whether it's a tomato-based sauce, a creamy sauce, or even a pesto, chickpea pasta will surprise you with its flavor and lightness. And best of all, it's very easy to make. With a few simple steps, you can transform chickpeas into a delicious pasta that will be part of your weekly menu. And here's a valuable tip. You can find ready-made chickpea flour in some health food stores, but you can also make your own flour at home, grinding the dry grains in a blender or processor. It's quick, practical, and gives you the certainty that you're using a 100% natural and healthy ingredient. Now, if you prefer something more practical, there are several brands of pasta made from chickpeas available on the market. They come ready to cook and are an excellent option for those who have a busier routine but still want to maintain a balanced diet. The flavor of these pastas is very similar to traditional pasta, but with all the benefits of chickpeas, low glycemic index, high fiber content, and a good amount of vegetable proteins. The great advantage of chickpeas is that, in addition to being a healthy option for those with diabetes, they are also very nutritious for all members of the family. This means you can make a complete, tasty meal for everyone without worrying about preparing different dishes. Everyone will benefit from the nutrients and delicious flavor this pasta offers. Now let's get to the recipe. I'm going to teach you how to make homemade chickpea pasta, which, besides being simple, is an excellent way to include this superfood in your daily life. To start, you will need chickpea flour and some warm water. If you don't find ready-made flour, as I mentioned before, just grind the dry grains until you get a very fine flour. In a bowl, place 200 grams of chickpea flour and add warm water little by little while mixing with your hands. The dough will begin to take shape as you add the water. The ideal point is when the dough no longer sticks to your hands, but is still soft. If necessary, add more flour or more water until you reach that point. Now comes the fun part. Roll out the dough with a rolling pin until it is very thin. Then, you can cut it into the shape you prefer. If you want to make spaghetti-style pasta, cut it into thin strips. If you prefer something more rustic, like noodles, cut into slightly wider strips. Chickpea pasta is very versatile and works well in any shape. Once cut, let the strips dry for a few minutes, so they are firmer when cooking. To cook, put a pan of water and salt on the fire, and when the water starts to boil, add the pasta. Cooking time is quick, about 3 to 5 minutes, depending on the thickness of the strips. The dough will be soft, but still firm, with a delicious texture. Now just choose the sauce. One of my favorites is the pesto sauce, made with fresh basil, olive oil, garlic, and walnuts. It's a light sauce, but full of flavor, that goes perfectly with the chickpea pasta. Another classic option is fresh tomato sauce, which is also delicious with this pasta. And if you want something creamier, you can opt for a natural yogurt-based sauce, with a touch of garlic and fine herbs. The possibilities are many, and they are all healthy and delicious. The coolest thing about this recipe is that you can adapt it according to your taste. Chickpea pasta accepts different types of sauce well, and you can vary the combinations to avoid falling into a routine. Whether for a quick lunch or a more elaborate dinner, this pasta will always be an excellent choice. And best of all, this recipe can be made in large quantities and stored in the refrigerator or freezer. This way, you always have a healthy option on hand, ready to be cooked and served in just a few minutes. This is great for those who have a busy routine and need practicality, without giving up the quality of their meals. Chickpea pasta is perfect to include on your menu, whether you are diabetic or just someone who wants to eat healthier. With it, you will be able to enjoy a pasta dish without fear, knowing that it is doing your body good. Chickpeas, in addition to being an excellent source of energy, are a delicious way to take care of yourself. Now that you've discovered these incredible pastas that can be part of your diet without complicating your health, I have one more super important tip that you can't miss. I'm leaving a video on your screen about the 4 drinks that help stabilize diabetes. These drinks are easy to include in your daily routine and can make a huge difference in your glucose control. If you don't know what they are yet, just click now to watch. I'm sure you'll be surprised by this information, and you won't want to miss this chance to improve your health even further. See you there.